don't think it needs me to say that lockdown's been pretty brutal, especially being in a third or fourth lockdown. This last one, hopefully it's the last one. Who would know though? We're ruled by donkeys, so I wouldn't completely rule out another one, but let's hope that there isn't another one. This lockdown's been the most isolating, I gotta say, in many ways. I've kind of, for different reasons, I've mostly kept myself entirely to myself. Part of that through being a bit lucky, being one of the people that's been furloughed and not having to turn up to my job on a regular basis. And, you know, I think for a lot of people in that situation, that can be extremely alienating, because as many flaws as having to turn up to a job just to have enough money to eat all the time, and for as many probably justified complaints about our jobs, one thing it can do for a lot of people is it can be quite a way of breaking out of isolation. It gives you an extra place to at least to some degree socialise. I don't think we'd be, there's a lot of people you hear about missing work in some ways, and I'm not sure it's necessarily work people are missing. It's the fact that they're not working, but they got no place to socialise instead. I don't think people would miss working if they had plenty of opportunity to go and socialise and meet other people and do things with other people. But because we can't do that, then you start craving your one sort of bit of social life outside of that. But it is what it is. Not in all ways, but there are definitely some positive aspects of this lockdown from my personal point of view, at least in terms of like creativity and trying to reassess and think about what you've done up to this point, or what I've done up to this point, and what I'm planning on doing later on, and how I want to refine the things I've done in the past. Like, I've literally just today been going over some of my past songs I've done, and if I'm completely honest, cringing at some of them, because I'm just like, wow, I'd like to think, in the past I've had some pretty reasonable ideas, some of them, quite funny and interesting at the time. I can definitely see some really dated ways of thinking, and hey, a reflection of how I used to see things at the time when I made it. I mean, some of my songs I've got up like on my SoundCloud, I wrote that shit back in 2006, 2007. So I'd hope I've matured since then and hopefully got better at stuff I do since then, whether it's rapping or making beats and all the rest of it. And that's kind of the takeaway for me is there's one thing I've been gained from this lockdown, for as brutal as it's been for a lot of people, for as difficult as dealing with COVID's been, and trying to navigate this pandemic and all the worries and fears that surround it. I ain't going to be surprised if we do get like a lot of creativity getting fostered off the back of it, because it's been an opportunity where, artists have kind of been forced to just contemplate what they're doing and think about what they're actually using their creative energy to do, because I'd kind of argue perhaps the way some of the challenges artists have nowadays is a lot of their creativity gets sucked up trying to market what they have to do on social media. That energy that has to be given to social media companies in order to creatively market what you're doing could ideally have just been spent just making music. I mean, me doing this simple vlog video, I'm talking about stuff and what have you, but there's a big part of me that would rather just make a song and just put it out and not have to wait on it, not build up any whatever for it, just make something and put it out. And I could do that, but I'm more likely to gain attention, which I have to do because I can't generate any revenue. I can't even hope to generate any revenue from it really without gaining some attention for it. That's the way the world works, and okay, that's how it is. In a sense, we've kind of, some of us hopefully have had time. Certainly, I've given myself time to just contemplate what it is I'm trying to do and what I want to spend my time on and what I actually need to focus on, whilst also trying to develop, like I've had to set up a whole marketing plan as to how I'm going to promote my stuff and what I'm going to do. And hey, I've upgraded my skills. So yeah, I got a new single out, VINE VUDUU. First attempt at me trying to construct something taken from my old school jungle influences and some of my drum and bass influence as well, and also trying to add an extra string to my bow as an MC, it trying to rap at sort of double time with that chopper type style, because generally when I started rapping I tended to fit, you know, my main influences was in the early days was kind of like boom bap hip hop, so it's me trying to rather than, you know, I've sat more in the 90 BPM type pace of beats, and this has just been a chance at me trying to spit on 170 BPM, which has been cool. And you know, some people critique like fast rap because they think it's, you know, it's a way of masking any lack of lyricism you might have and all the rest of it, and yeah, so be it. Like, I'm not making a value judgment on it, it's just something I wanted to do, and hopefully, like, lyrically the track's decent too in its way, but I still kind of wanted it to, I don't know, like anything, whenever I'm trying to make a track, I'm always trying to take the sort of method of learn, apply and modify. So you know, I take ideas, I'll listen to like some old school jungle, I'll listen to some like rappers that are good on that sort of chopper style, and then I'll try and learn what they did, like what those producers, what those MCs did, and then I'll try and break it down what they've done, and then I'll try and modify it to a way that I want to do it, that's as self-expressive about how I go about doing things, because look, we're all different. Art's one of those places where it's good to embrace your differences and your different ways of interpreting and doing stuff, and that's what's been a decent takeaway of this lockdown, for as horrible as it's been for many people, and yeah, sometimes it's been difficult for me as well. Like, at least personally, what I have taken away from it is it's been like a good learning opportunity to sort of take a break and step back from, you know, the rat race of life we're all caught in, and just trying to switch up my creativity and switch up what I'm doing, and hopefully it makes me a better songwriter, better artist off the back of it. You know, I got more in the tank and more things I can do after that, and hopefully my sort of standards are way better than they were. And who knows, bit of luck, I might not have to do my day job anymore. This furlough could assist my my way out of the rat race and the day job. But hey, here's hoping. You will see my first ever music video that I've made for this new song, VINE VUDUU, and I'm pleased with it. You know, I'm quite a big advocate of working where you are with what you have. You know, kind of that sort of, in a way, that hip-hop, grime and punk ethos, where it's like, okay, if you're limited with what you've got, just use what you've got. I mean, granted, I'm kind of lucky because I have got some things, like, you know, I've got this microphone, I've got recording equipment and stuff like that, so it's not like I'm starting from like barest bones nothing, but there's a lot of creativity in, you know, again, just working what you got and not putting stuff off for when you've got you know, oh, I'll do this once I've got X amount of recording equipment, or once I get into this plush studio or something like that. It's like, nah, just make something now, put it out there, get better as you go. And there's a lot to be said for that. I mean, when I've been, I mean, that's what's been interesting going over some of my old stuff is on one hand, I'm super critical of what I've made in the past and super critical of myself and just thinking like, mate, you could have done better. But then in the same breath, it's like, well, hey, I made something for the time based on where my head was and what I was thinking at the time. Yeah, worst comes to worse, it ends up on the scrap heap of internet history and no one cares, no one's paying attention to it. So be it. Go make something else, make it better, and just acknowledge any duff moments you had in the past. Like, and that's it. I'm taking that moving forward. Something I've learned as well. So you just have to use it. And I could even utilize some of the stuff, the good bits of the stuff I've done, and utilize it in a better way later down the line. And I probably will do that. Certainly, like the song I put out, Ghost Eat Thoughts. That is taken from some old verses I wrote, over a decade ago, and just kind of rehashed it with a beat I really liked that I only made last year, and just going from there. But yeah, like, it's definitely been a good, for as awful as things have been, it's definitely been a good learning curve for me, and I've got a lot of stuff I've learned which I can take forward. Let's hope it's onwards and upwards, not just for me obviously, but for all of us. And if you're struggling, we're all going to get there. Don't trust the donkeys that rule us to have our best interests, because the only way our best interests are going to get provided for is when we all learn to work together, rather than spend our time fighting each other and quarrelling over stuff that's pretty much only there to divide and rule us. But anyway, that's it from me. Check out my song VINE VUDUU. If it's not out yet, it will be out on the 9th of April 2021, and it's my first music video I've done, and it's my first track I've made working on some sort of jungle type flex whilst also trying to do that speedy rap chopper type styles. So I'm proud of what I've done. And if you don't like it, I don't give a fuck. Anyway, take it easy. All the best moving forward. Peace.